marked black helicopters would fly over the vortex around it. Mail was missing, things we knew that should be coming. So there was a whole lot of stuff going on based on the possibility of talking about portals, or the possibility of there being portals.
Another question. Well, this young man, right? I promise all the answers won't be that long. Marty's got the questions here, Tommy. Marty's right there.
My question pertains to Sasquatch people and healings. I noticed that in the film you didn't really elaborate on, and no one in particular elaborated on healings from the Sasquatch people.
That's a slippery slope. A lot of times, if you meet somebody who has a cold on the 4th or 5th day, if they saw a Sasquatch, maybe the 6th day they're feeling better. But if they hadn't seen anything, maybe they would have gotten better anyhow. It's hard to say exactly. And if there was a good example, I'd entertain it, and I would have interviewed the person, and I would have put them out in front. But I haven't seen that. Go ahead, Marty.
Hey, Dave, I had a couple quick questions for you. One was, I was wondering why you chose to come here to debut your film, and my second question was, if you could explain if you found any connections between the missing 411 content and some of your Sasquatch discoveries, and if you could give some insight into that as well.
So a lot of podcasts have bent over backwards and lied incessantly saying that there's a 411 connection, and I know it, and I'm not saying it, which is a complete bunch of lies. You will read my books, you will find nothing in there in 411 about Sasquatch and Bigfoot, except one story out of Fresno County where a guy went out there with a 16-year-old girl up in the mountains in the Sierras. The girl disappeared, and he said Bigfoot took her. That's it. Nothing else in my books. Why are we here? Because this is the biggest, probably, conglomeration of people that believe in Bigfoot anywhere in the United States. Other questions?
Can I say something about the healing though first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I've interviewed many elders of the Blackfoot tribe over the years, and they have a long history of Bigfoot calling Mistaki Tapi, which means large mountain spirit. But they also believe that they're healers and protectors. And one of my good Blackfoot friends, he was one of the spiritual elders of the Blackfoot Nation. He used to come to the Vortex, and he knew all of the ancient songs. And there was 3 songs that they would drum and sing to Mistaki Tapi to call him in for healings and to protect the tribe. So that was kind of their belief of it. And he had a Blackfoot prayer too that he taught me. It's Ayo Kanatani Kimat Dokiman, Iyo Kanatani Kimat Dokiman, Mistaki Tapi, Oki Tapi. And basically what he's asking is that he's asking the grandfather and grandmother spirits and Mistaki Tapi, Bigfoot, to come in and protect us and heal us of anything that we need to be healed by.
So on that opposite end of this token, there was a lady that was doing Bigfoot research who claimed that the cancer given to her was by a Bigfoot. And L.A. Marzulli, while I was interviewing him, told me he believed that Bigfoot killed Scott Carpenter. So that's why it's such a slippery slope about the belief system that I don't really even touch it. Go ahead.
Thank you. I think you did a beautiful job on your movie. My name is Kathleen Meyer, and I'm from MUFON, and I want to tell you that that is changing. It's beginning to change. I've been an experiencer all my life, and I know and I see all the things that you are talking about. You have one side thinks it's the woo, and the other side thinks it's not. So it's starting to transition. We have the same discussions at all the conferences and when we go and talk to people. So I'm really happy to see everybody here. So thank you. I just wanted you to know that that's starting to change.
And I will attest that what she's saying is true, because I've been invited to 4 or 5 different MUFON functions to talk about Bigfoot. And there's been Bigfoot articles on the front page of the MUFON newsletters in the last 3 years. So yeah, it is changing. And whereas people in the past said, oh, MUFON would never touch it, I've said on big radio shows, I don't believe that anymore. I think it has migrated to a point that they're willing to talk about it. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, I'm a search and rescue official for Humboldt County, Northern California, also on a wilderness EMT. And I would like to ask you this, are there patterns in location, time, or environmental conditions that correlate with signs suggesting a dimensional portal?
Say that last sentence again, please.
Are there patterns in location, time, or environmental conditions that correlate with signs suggesting a dimensional portal?
I would say that the number one pattern that I'm seeing personally is having to do with what's called karst topography, which is limestone bedrock, which is caves. In other words, it seems to me like a large part of the Sasquatch phenomena emanates from the subterranean realm. So, I kind of explored that whole thing in my latest book, but it is something that a bunch of people are also looking at. Oklahoma, the one place in Oklahoma where you get the Sasquatch activity, limestone topography, caves, because limestone bedrock dissolves in water and leaves these caves, and then they can or can't be expanded from there. Southern Oregon, the only place in Oregon where you get caves. Seems to be a bunch of Bigfoot activity that emanates from that. And so on and so forth. There's other places as well, New Mexico. So, caves is one. Summer is always one, but it could be that people are out during the summer. So it takes two things to have a Bigfoot sighting, a person and a Sasquatch, and we just don't go out and do as much in December as we do in July. So, certainly weather is going to facilitate sightings. Other than that, forest areas, for sure. Henry Franzoni once had, I mentioned him before, he said it's not out of the question that what is going on is that the Sasquatch inhabit a subterranean realm where they do some very heavy lifting, and they need a vacation, and when they want a vacation or when they're given some vacation time, they go to the surface and cruise around and go to places like Crater Lake and Bryce Canyon. Sasquatch sightings often happen in very beautiful places, and so we speculated that maybe these guys are on vacation from the heavy lifting they're doing subterranean. So there's a different point of view.
I agree with Tom about the limestone. Dave knows because he watches the mountain from his house all the time, but every morning we wake up and there's this big mountain right across from us. It's called Columbia Mountain, and it's been a UFO hotspot ever since the homesteaders came into Montana before we even had the term UFO. But it's all limestone, and we sit on part of the base of that mountain where the vortex is at, which is all limestone too. And we've had 11 sightings of Bigfoot on the ground, 6 by groups of tourists. I've seen one, and 4 of our guides have seen one too. And there's a family there that have been there ever since I've been there for 21 years, and we interact with them not on a regular basis. We're on their schedule, not on ours. But limestone is, I think, one of the things that is, anywhere you go in the country, if there's limestone, you'll have UFOs and you'll probably have Bigfoot sightings too.
So it could be that these subterranean realms is where the UFO phenomenon and the Sasquatch phenomenon intersect. In which case, maybe some of these UFO sightings aren't actually from elsewhere in the galaxy or beyond, but rather the UFOs really represent a manifestation of a phenomenon that's just as terrestrial as we are. It's just that they emanate from subterranean, and this is where there must be then subterranean readouts, hideouts, caves, secure places that are very, very large and have been improved upon. These aren't wet, drippy, cold, dark caves, but fixed up places subterranean where these paranormal phenomenon find refuge right here on planet Earth. And this is something that Native Americans have been saying for centuries, so I didn't think this stuff up.
Another question?
Oh, hey, to segue on that, there's a couple